Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me as co-host, Andre Doc Manders. Well, Doc, we've had a weekend full of cricket and still cricket going on up at the Somerset Cricket Club right now. Willocots are trying to defend their 341 for 9. Somerset are 247 for 6. They need 95 runs with only 4 wickets in hand. And it's 11 overs to play, so we'll keep an eye on that. Some interesting other scores throughout the weekend. Obviously, yesterday in the Western County Cup competition, Southampton Rangers won by 9 wickets over PHC. So PHC were bowled out for 46 with Rangers 48 for 1. There was a cup match trial in the East End yesterday that ended in a draw. The President Select scored 256 for 9 the Vice President Select scored 256 for 9, with the President Select scoring 217 for 7 when stumps were pulled. And then today in the Premier Division, Bailey's Bay were able to do the double over St. George's after defeating them at Seabreeze. Today they defeated them at Wellington Oval by 4 wickets. St. George's were all out for 177, and Bailey's Bay were all out for 177, and Bailey's Bay scored 179 for 6. Southampton Rangers defeated St. David's in another low-scoring affair, this time by 58 runs. Southampton Rangers were all out for 128. St. David's were all out for 70. Then in the First Division, Western Stars today won by 157 runs over Cleveland County. Western Stars scored 365 for 8. Cleveland County were all out for 208. Warwick Workmen's won by 7 wickets over Flats Victoria. Flats Victoria were all out for 108, with Warwick Workmen scoring 109 for 3. And then yesterday in First Division, Western Stars won by 128 runs over the Bermuda Under-19 team. Western Stars scored 254 all out, and then bowled the Under-19 team out for 126. So a lot of big scores all weekend, Doc.
Yeah. Yeah, you got some low ones there too.
Yeah.
Especially today, but that's good to show you. I would still say the bet is still on top of the board for the season. Can't say it's early season no more. A lot of the wickets should be ready for cup match or for Connie games and everything else that's going on. So can't blame nothing on the wickets. No, it's application on the batsmen, and we talk about it all the time. The building too. So, and of course, fielding. So like I said, it was a couple of high-scoring games yesterday, and today was one in the First Division where the Western Stars scored 365. And Cleveland scored 208, so that's over 500 runs there.
Yeah, that's agreed.
There was a low scoring game between Warwick
Rangers and
Warwick
Flats.
Warwick beat Flats. I think that was like an upset. If you're looking at Flats, being in second place. You can't count on Warwick. Warwick's got Malachi James back, and before those young guys that got a good team too. So that was a good result for them. Not a good result for Stars today, because Flats and Cleveland was first and second place. Now you got the third or fourth beating the first and second. So I guess to show you that anybody could beat anybody on the day between the Premier Division, like we talked about again, the Premier Division and the First Division. It was some very interesting school games.
Yeah. One of the things that the eye opener or the eyebrow raiser would be the 2 games between St. David's and Southampton Rangers. Down at St. David's a few weeks ago, I believe Rangers got 132 and billed St. David's out for 128, something like that. And then today, Rangers are all out for 128, and then billed St. David's out for 70. These are 2 teams that have been free scoring against all these other teams, but against each other, they tend to match up rather well, especially the bowling department. Players kind of know each other, so that was kind of interesting there.
And those times Rangers beaten. And you're talking
Yeah.
about that. If you look at it, it's another interesting matchup between Beers Bay and St. George's.
St. George's,
Whereas
that's right.
Bears beat St. George's twice.
Twice.
And of
That's
course,
right.
we had 3 Bears players that go in St. George's.
Yeah.
Now, Bay is beating them up twice. That's
Yeah.
I don't think, I didn't think that would happen, but you got to give all kudos to Bay because
Yeah.
some good results against St. George's. They won, both games,
Sure.
both times.
And they would be putting. Remember, they'd be putting pressure. I guess they're going ahead of St. David's now, and they'll be league leaders because they were second. Yeah, Bayless Bay were second in the league, right behind St. David's. And with their win and St. David's loss, that will put them, right there. Yeah, well, they were behind by 24. So
I'm saying Rangers not too far behind now too, because they got some.
Right, Rangers were on 54. Yeah.
So, like I said, it's anybody's game, anybody's time to win that league. It's gonna go right. I tell you, we said that early in the programs that we were talking about early in the season, that anybody is gonna beat anybody, and it's gonna go right down to the wire. And that's what's happening. Everybody's just beating each other. So you still can't cut out St. Davis.
Right.
They'll probably have a off weekend this week.
Yeah.
You still can't count out Bayless Bay.
Davis Bay, yeah.
I think St. George's with these lost her. I didn't know them.
They're 4-4. Yeah.
Yeah. So
1-4 lost.
So if they want to get even top 2 or 3, they're gonna have to win the remaining of their games.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
It's mixing for a good final. The last 2, and hopefully this finishes ready for cup match, right?
Yes, it's supposed to. Yes.
So we will know at least before cup match, who's winning
the league champions are. Yeah, definitely. Well, we are expecting the president of the Somerset Cricket Club, Mr. Fashawn Blanchett, to join us to give us an update. He did make mention that he is still at Somerset, watching his team take on Willicots. That is a big rivalry up in the West End. Neighbors battling it out. Somerset will want to win this one to pick up a win in the season and get some points on the board. I think if they lose this one, they would all but be relegated, as they only came into this game with 5 points. Willicots have 32 points. So, win for Willicots closes the gap on St. George's, who would move into 4th. And that puts pressure on St. George's. Those two's already played each other. So, it comes down to that. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be joined by the new national coach to discuss some plans on what he hopes he can do in a short space of time. He's got a contract up until September 15th, I believe it is. So what his intent is over the next few weeks and months leading up to this tournament in Jersey, and how he plans to put things in place. So that's our plan for the day, for this afternoon. But let's take a look, Doc, at that first. Let's look at yesterday, Western County, second round. Second time Southampton Rangers have taken on a first division team and destroyed them early, getting on top of them and putting the nail in the coffin really, really early. PHC did bring in Kyrie Furbert, who's been drafted into the national team, and they also had Ricardo Bregman. Both kind of struggled at the wicket. They came when they got together. The team was already deep into trouble. At 3 for 19, and then when they lost Bregman, it was 4 for 24, and then they lost Kyrie 5 for 35. So Kyrie scored 13. He was the only one in double figures. The extras were the highest score of 19. They had 13 wides. With Charles Trott taking 6 for 16 from 9 overs with 4 maidens, and Dion Stubble taking 3 for 7 off of 4.4. I mean, PHC, really just outclassed in Western County.
Yeah. I didn't think that will happen with PHC, like you said, with Kyrie and Ricardo in the lineup. But you got to give kudos to Rangers because they're attacking from the start, like you said. Once you get early wickets, it puts a lot of pressure on both of this batsmen that's coming in. You know, especially Kyrie and Ricardo, because they're bringing them as best players. And, you know, making these guys, they need to perform. But I think if PHC would have probably got a nice start, it takes a little bit of pressure off them. It was, you know, like I said, with losing those early wickets, even in the first Coney game where Somerset Bridge batted first two, they lost those early wickets.
Yeah. And
they put pressure on their guest players too. So, you know, when you bring in these guest players, you're hoping that they make runs. You know, well, you know, if you're bringing in a batsman, you expect them for them to make runs. If you're bringing in a bowler, you expect for them to get wickets. But all the time that doesn't happen. You know, depending how the wicket's playing, depending on how the game goes. But you expect at least one of them to make some runs. At this time, that none of them got runs. So PHC was always under the gun from jump. You know, so you know Rangers jumped on them right from the start. Like you know, all over 50. I mean, like you know, and I heard that PHC won the toss and batted too.
Yeah.
See, that's all good, but what is that game plan? I saw what they said about the game plan, like going in, you try to get a good start and then, you know, try to work Rangers down, but you got to remember, if you're getting in for game plan like that, it's not about just staying to the wicket and not getting the runs.
Right.
You have to score off the bare balls. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to run these singles. You got to try to, you know, take these singles, and not even, when you take these singles, you're bringing the fielders in, and then you can go over the top. So I don't know what game plan they had, but you know, it definitely didn't work. And Rangers being a more experienced team, you know, they put pressure on right from the start. I heard that the wicket was staying a little low, but that's still no excuse, because if it's staying low, you shouldn't, you know, that's like playing on your front foot early. Right. Try to limit it, you know, going off your back foot, but you know, I don't know. That's two games. There's two Western Conference where the games have been finished pretty early. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because it is unfortunate. You know, for the Western Conference, you know, if they're trying to make money, and by the time you get up to the game is finished, but you know, so hopefully the next rounds is Warwick and Rangers. It's definitely be better games.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at the cup match trial and the matches from today. We'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy. But why I do it? I feel I'm supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born. I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Welcome back. Well, Doc, yesterday in the East End, the St. George Cricket Club hosted a cup match trial, which ended in a draw. The vice president-elect, as I said, scored a 257 for 9. They batted 60 overs. Ajon Lamb was the top scorer with 47. Durande Bascom scored 42. Tamika Wilson scored 40. In the bowling department, you had Logan Jones take 3 for 27 off of 7. And Zari Painter took 2 for 27 off of 9. And Isaiah Greaves took 2 for 40 off of 7. And then in the second inning, the president select scored 217 for 7 off of 47.4 overs. You had Treadwell Gibbons scoring 40, Coolidge Durham 36, Kushai Darrell 32, and it was a 27 from Detroit Smith. In the bowling department, George O'Brien bowled 17 overs, 9 maidens, 2 for 31. And then Jabari Darrell got 1 for 61, and Justin Pitcher 1 for 36, and Durande Bascom 1 for 21. So things that, as we can tell, things are heating up for the Cup Match Classic. Again, we're waiting on the president from Somerset Cricket Club because it's that time of the year. But once we hit July, everyone starts talking Cup Match.
Yeah, and I think that's the first trial. St. George's, no, that's the second trial St. George's had. And I know Somerset has been training through the week Cup Match trials, but they still ain't had no trials yet. And that's very disappointing because I know they had the cup, so you can't get complacent because they've been winning the last 5 to 6 years of Cup Match they've been winning other than one draw. So when you get complacent like that, there you never know what's going to happen. So I'm just hoping that they can get at least one more trial. Some get one trial before for the last trial, which is in a couple of weeks. Because I remember before you could even have games on the Tuesday and Wednesday when they have training. Like one team bets on the Tuesday, then the other team bets on a Wednesday and use that as a trial match. Being that said, this might be a little hard for Somerset now, but being at the West, we talked about it before, being at the West Secondary Zone, but still no excuse, man. They need to have more trials, instead of just having one trial, because it's not fair when a lot of the players that's trying to make Cup Match.
Right.
Somerset, even though, Somerset, you look at Somerset's team, most of the time you don't want to try to change your winning team. But it's always people that may be hurt or for some reason, are out of form. And so I'm not saying that they're not going to change the team, but, you can't just say, I'm not going to go up there and try. You still got to put pressure on the players that are in Cup Match. You never know what's going to happen on the final trial. Most times if you score runs on the final trials, you're giving the selectors headaches. So that's what you want, and it's, St. George's is having her trial, so it's not looking too good for Somerset right now, being that they ain't had none. But like I said, I know they're training through the week. So and then you look at it, most of their players, Somerset Cup Match players, are making runs anyway.
In the teams, yeah.
Not like teams, but still, like Somerset's elite teams not really doing that good.
Right.
You would think they'd have more games from.
Yeah.
But that's, like I said, that sometimes that don't mean too much. But I just think that when I played a cup match years ago, we had 4 or 5 trials, and
Right.
and you had to play in all of them to me. It's just now, nowadays it's just so easy. I wouldn't say easy to make the team, but it's just so easy that you could just go up, like I said, go up and play the last trial. You make runs in your hand. Whereas
Yeah.
before, when I played, like I said, when I played, you played 5 trials. If you made runs anywhere in those 5 trials, you got a better chance than making it just making runs in the last trial. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, but anyway, that's years ago, and everything's changed now. So,
Yeah.
I just hope that someone gets at least one more trial in.
Right. Before the final trial. Well, let's quickly before we get to the national coach at the bottom of the hour, let's quickly jump into today again at Wellington Oval. St. George's lost by 4 wickets to Bailey's Bay. St. George's won the toss and elected to bat. They were out for 177. Onias Bascom scored 49. Macau Walker took 4 for 44 from 10 overs with 2 maidens. Now remember, he was the one at Bailey's Bay, took 7 wickets against St. George's. So he loves the EastEnders, that's for sure. Jordan Burgess bowled 10 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 39 in reply. Bailey's Bay scored 179 for 6. Michael Agard was the top scorer with 65 not out. I must add that the captain, Taryn Frey, was on 43 or 44 not out, holding up one end. When Agard came in, they were 136 for 6, and he just attacked the bowling. He scored a 65 over 40 balls, 5 fours and 5 sixes. Onias Bascom was the pick of the St. George's bowlers. He took 3 for 45 from 10 overs. And then that Rangers St. David's game, Southampton Rangers won the toss and went to bat and were out for 128. Dion Stubble was the top scorer on 51. Justin Pitcher was the pick of the St. David's bowlers, 4 for 33 off of 9 with 1 maiden. Derek Brinkman bowled 9.3 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 31. In reply, St. David's were all out for 70. Dean Simmons was the top scorer with 20. Gennaro Tucker bowled 7.3 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 7. Dion Stubble bowled 6 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 21. And Charles Trott followed up that 6-wicket haul the day before, bowling 10 overs, 3 for 40. And then let's quickly jump into the first division. Western Stars winning big over Cleveland County. Western Stars won the toss, elected to bat, and they scored 365 for 8. Brian Hall was their top scorer with 157 off of 73 balls. He had 5 fours and 18 sixes. Jacon Ednis scored his second half century of the weekend. He scored 51. Mackay McGowan was the pick of the Cleveland bowlers, 10 overs, 4 for 54. And then in reply, Cleveland were all out for 208. McGowan was the top scorer with 66 over 46 balls. He had 1 4 and 6 sixes. Seth Campbell finished with 4 wickets off of 9.2 overs, 1 maiden. And Jaden Manders took 3 for 53. We talked about that Warwick winning by 7 wickets over Flats Victoria. Flats were all out for 108. Kevin Hurdle was the top scorer of 36. Jody Maroney was the pick of the Warwick bowlers with 8.2 overs, 5 for 37. And then Warwick scored 109 for 3. Malachi Jones was the top scorer with 48 not out. Hurdle took 2 for 14 off of 4 overs that included 1 maiden. So we are going to take a commercial break, but let's give an update on what's going on up in the West End as Somerset are chasing 341. They are 244 for 6 with 8 overs to go. So we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the new national head coach. We'll be right back.
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy. But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born. I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
They're just putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. We are joined by Niraj Udedra, the new national coach. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, my friend. Yourself?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful.
Good evening.
I have with me my co-host, Mr. Andre Doc Manders. He's been part of the national program for quite some time as well, but now resides abroad. Well, he's abroad right now.
Yeah.
But can you just give the general public an idea of your immediate plans for this national team in which you've taken over for a short period of time at this point?
Well, BCB, first of all, I would like to thank BCB that given me this opportunity. I think the talks were going on for long, but to a slight delay due to the work permit, and I guess that's how the government in Bermuda, that's how it works. You have to have a UK visa, and then only they can do your work permit. So it's not really easy to get a UK visa, but talks were going on. So it's not an immediate or we were in talks for long, but somehow it just worked out now. And I think it's happening at the right time as well, because it would have been rushed to Uganda and then to Jersey. So I think I'll get some time to spend on island, have a look at the culture, follow all these eastern counties and club games. I might be attending in coming few weeks, and that would be a good chance to see good cricketers as well. So that will give me some time to prepare the team for future.
Yeah, quick question on that, because the squad is now selected, and I know you're going around watching a lot of cricket, a lot of training sessions as well. How do you feel if the fact that you may see some talent, but they're not included in this particular team that you're being kind of handed?
See, for public, it feels like that he should have got selected, or this person should have been selected. But you got to understand, BCB is working actually really hard to get hold of all the players. It's not only talent, stats, and the ranking. Yeah, it should be there. We do look at the ranking. We do look at the talent. But then you got to understand that on this island, people do work. Some of them they're married. Some of them they have surgeries to attend. There's so many things happening. And sometimes you feel like, why this guy is not big, why this guy is not being picked. why he's not in the side. But actually, if you look at the true story, maybe he has to have maybe he has to attend a sort of surgery for his son, which has been due for long, and that could be the reason why he's not going on to the tour. So he made himself unavailable. So we had quite a few players who actually were part of our setup, but somehow they couldn't make themselves available for this too. So it's not that we're not picking up, players for the national squad. What you think is, obviously you think he should be on the squad, but there are a lot of other factors. Some little things you'll be surprised. One player which I liked, he should be on the squad, but he couldn't because his passport expired. Now, these are the things. So we need bit of commitment from players as well. It's not because BCB is trying hard to get hold of all the employers. As I understand, that's how it works. So you have to have a word with the employer. If employers allow you, then then you can go. That's how it works. So BCB is trying everything they can to get in touch with the employers, but sometimes they don't want them to go, on national duty because work comes first. So you got to so in all aspect, we are still, I think we are very lucky that whatever team we have, I'm in touch with quite a few people who's in touch with cricket and who's been around for long, like for many years. They've been part of the
Have we lost you?
and I think we got a pretty decent side, and so I don't see that as an excuse. I mean, whoever, at the end of the day, my job is to coach cricket. So whatever team I get, I can give my inputs. I can tell them that this is an all-rounder I want, or this is. But end of the day, it's selectors' duty to select what's best for Bermuda, and end of the day, it's my duty to see that I work with these boys and get good results.
Doc, any questions?
Yeah, Rod, it's Andre. I'm Arnold's brother, Arnold Majesty, president of the Bermuda Cricket Board. Yeah, well, we had that trouble for the last 10 to 15 years. We always had trouble with some of our best players not going for reasons, just what you said, work commitments, passport problems. Some of us got kids, and sometimes they just can't get off. So I understand what you're saying. It's very, very difficult for us to get our best players out when we go to these overseas tournaments, and sometimes we do, but most of the times, a lot of them, they just have so many things to do. And I agree with you. The team that has been selected, you can only work with what the board gave you. And I'm guarantee you probably go along, you probably see some more better players, that's playing in the leagues, but for obvious reasons, some of them just don't want to train the squad, or like you said, they just can't get the time off. It's a difficult situation because a lot of them, we're not a professional team, not even semi-professional. So a lot of these guys do have to work, for income. So and like I said, that's been a problem for years, and it's something
even,
that I think
I think even that can be sorted with employers. But what about if somebody's going to attend a surgery, or if somebody's sick in the family? I mean, obviously, family comes first. So so whatever team you have, end of the day, selector, they have worked hard. They've been. I'm been on island since last 10 days, so I don't want to get involved with any of that. My job is to coach a team. So cricket coaching is what I do. What team I get, I have to work with them and try and get best out of it. I can give my inputs, I can give my ideas, I can have a plan, but end of the day, it's selectors who selects the team, and we have to get on with it.
Yeah.
Well, a quick question, Coach, because it's important. What has impressed you so far in what you've seen in the training sessions and the games that you've witnessed thus far in Bermuda?
A lot of things, a lot of positives, and you should be happy with that. I'm tell you what, I've been working with under 19s, and those who are finished with under 19s. I've seen a lot of players, and let me tell you, there is hope. I mean, that you always get 2-3 good players from under 19 setup, and 1 or 2 good players from emerging, like under 23s or that sort of group. When I go to a match, and I can see that talent is there, but it's a bit raw. I've seen somebody bowling really quick. I'll give you a name as well. His name is Nairobi. He's quite young. I worked with him at Somerset. He runs in really quick, bowls at a good pace, very young, but bit raw. You need to work with this kid. So what we are trying is that, okay, national side is out, that's fine. But what I'll try and do is that I'm going to call these guys up as well for the training session. So they shouldn't feel like, because they are in sort of fringe of getting into the team. Or it could be Jelani. I worked with him at Cleveland. He was part of that Uganda tour. He didn't bowl bad, but maybe selector thought somebody better than him. We need to give them chance as well. But what I'm saying is, the players who are on fringe of getting selected for Bermuda, they should be also. I'll try and get them together for a session, and we'll try and make them available whenever we can. So they're all part of the setup. So nobody should feel like that. Okay, the 14 squad members have been declared, and we've been no part of it. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. We know who's doing well, and they are part of the setup. So those 20-25 group of people will try and get them together whenever it's possible. We'll try and work on them whenever it's possible. Yeah, but that's on this island. On this island, I see a lot of talent, and let me tell you, there will be a new wave coming in. So the people who are getting old, or somehow, if you see them like they won't be part of our team in like next 5 years, trust me. On this island, you go to every ground, every club, every match, you always see some talent, young talent, who coming up. You see them bat, you see them bowl, and you feel like these people with proper, if they've been guided proper, if they've been given proper fitness plan, if they've been taken care with it, if you talk to communicate them, if you give them proper coaching, they can be better cricketers in coming years. That's the best thing.
Yeah. Doc, David comes from a passionate cricket country. Coach, take us through what that passion is like in India, and how does another country try to emulate that passion? Because I mean, you talk cricket to any Indian, that's an 8-hour conversation. So take us through that.
I always say, see, for you guys, cricket is sports. For us guys, cricket is religion. We just live with it. It's religion for us. And I always think, people who see hardship, they always get better success. So you have rickshaw driver's son. You have the people who come from that sort of poor background. They always tend to perform better at IPL and for India, because they have seen the hardship. Because they have seen the hardship, they have more chance of getting success. And because look, India is a big country, a lot of talent, but the way they work, where the commitment is, that's what I need to bring to this island as well. I want players to be more committed. They should be giving more importance to playing for nation rather than anything else. That culture has to come in, and we'll try and do that in like 2-3 years. That they need to give more importance to representing their country, make Bermuda proud, and make their family proud. And these guys are best of the best we have, so we need to take care of them. And talking about India again, I'm telling you, the standard they set up when it comes to fitness, when it comes to their dedication towards cricket, they just drink, eat, do. For them, the whole day is just cricket. People like Pujara, they wake up, they sleep, nothing else other than cricket. That's how they're committed. That's how they're determined. For them, cricket is everything. And a kid in India, they don't go to school because of cricket. They don't do proper uni and everything. So study is like a brick cross. So what else they got left? Cricket. That's their earning. That's their life. That's their livelihood. That's why you see a lot of cricketers in India prosper. That's why you see a lot of talent coming up because they don't have anything else if they don't play cricket.
Doc?
Yeah, that is so true. Anything in India, you got so, like you said, it's a big place. I remember being in Mumbai years ago, in Mumbai, and we was playing on a cricket ground. You had about 6 or 7 games going on in Mumbai, and I'm walking around, and you go to each game, you see the talent is there. I was like, geez, you could just pick a team out of this 11. But then you got New Delhi, you got, it's so big. So that's why what you were saying, that a lot of the players in India, they know they have to put the hard work in because there's so much players that are good in India that they have to be on top of their game every day. It's amazing. When I went to India just to see that, and I'm like, I went to Earl Mumbai and New Mumbai, and it was just amazing. I'm like, oh, jeez, how can you pick? You could pick 3 India cricket teams that probably could beat a lot of nations. That's how good they are. And like you said, they eat, drink, they wake up in the morning, and that's all they want to do, play cricket. Whether you're a batsman, bowler, or whatever. And I saw that when I was there. And that's one of the things we need to, adopt in Bermuda. Not on a level like that, but in Bermuda, it's such a small country like that. A lot of our good players know if they don't get picked, down the road, that there's not much pressure on them. So, they know that they're good. So, well, we make the team even if we don't train once. In India, you don't get that because if you don't train, you're not even making the third team. So that's what we need to implement in Bermuda, that for these players, that everything, not even in the national squad, but at club level too.
But I think as an office bearer, we also have to, also have to encourage them. Look, cricket is thriving on this island. I know that, you know that, everybody knows it. Cricket has been on this island for long, and it will be there for long. It's us people that we have to support each other. So media should be supporting BCB, BCB should be supporting players should be supporting coaching staff. There should be a joint sort of support from each and everyone. That's how you make cricket better, because it's a team game. And the team working behind the scene, they have to stick together as well. It's not only we telling players, but then end of the day, we have to take care of them as well. We need to let them grow as well. And that's, trust me, there's a lot of exciting things coming. Talking about Indian exposure, I'm working on it. I'm already in talks with my association, and they already gave me a green signal that you can bring your Bermuda team here. We'll give you our stadium. We'll give you all the practice facility for free. So, think about it. All the youngsters who really want to give something for Bermuda, or people who want to represent Bermuda, I take them back with me, or a coach can come and you can make your base in, say, Rajkot, where my stadium is, play against teams over there. That would be a huge exposure for all the players. And now we got this thing going on, like me coming over here. Most of the players I'm going to take back to India. Once this thing starts, I think there'll be a lot of exciting times ahead. Trust me, we're going to work on it. We're going to work it slowly, but we will work on it.
One of the major things in Bermuda nowadays, it's everybody wants success instant. They don't want to be patient, and clearly what we're hearing is the right track, which is things are going to take time. Don't put a time on it, but just know that if we start doing something positive, it could tend to head in the right direction. So with your relationships and your contacts and so forth, how do you envision, say, a year from now? Well, we don't know what, but how do you envision, or what do you envision for the possibilities for Bermuda players in a year's time?
In a year's time, what we're going to work on is, like, as soon as the Jersey tour is finished, we're going to start working on the technique, because then obviously you'll be also coming to, end of your season. So I think there's a T20 tournament which has been lined up. So BCB is working really hard for that T20 tournament to be a big success. That would be actually a really good preparation just before we go to that Argentina qualifying thing. In a way, all the players, they will be given a specific training plans they need to follow during the off season. That would be the main thing, because I don't want to see them getting injured or anything in this due time. So they'll be following a strict fitness sort of plans, which will be different for everyone. So it will be different for bowlers. It will be different. That's one thing. And then obviously after September, my work permit ends in September, so I'll be going back. But mind you, when I go back, I'll be still in touch with each and every one, because look, I don't have to be in your studio at the moment, and then still I'm talking to you. The same thing we can do with the players. So what's going to happen is we'll be in continuous touch. They'll be sending me the videos over, and during off season we'll be working a lot on the technical aspect as well. So at the moment it will be more like talking to them, caring, passing on what's good for their cricket. But during off season, you work on the technical side. So you need to work on like where they're doing wrong. Because by this time, I will have a lot of videos. I will have a lot of match footage. Yeah. I'll start preparing all the reports and everything on each player, like what they're good at, what they're not good at, what they need to improve on. So these are the things we can work during the off season. So year time is a really long time, to be honest. And so come Argentina, and I think we'll try and get the strongest side possible for the T20. But I think T20, I always feel, I said it before and I'm still saying it again, T20 format suits this island. The players are naturally made for that, because they got good bat speed when it comes to hitting it. Most of the players, they're really quick when it comes to, but they're really raw. We need to work on them. So year time, it's not bad. It's a long time, and we can definitely work on it. That there will be a lot of work going on the technical side as well. And at the same time, as I said, if some of them, they can come back to me, and then they can play cricket in India, and then they will only improve as a cricketer. So these are the things we have in plan. Sure.
Before I let you go, in the Commonwealth Games later this month, we'll see the inauguration of cricket in the Commonwealth Games, and it's 10-10. They're doing it with the women, but I'm pretty sure down the road there's going to be 10-10 for men at these major festivals. How do you envision a 10-10, much like you envision a T20?
It's look, that's happening in Dubai at the moment. Yeah, they'll play 10-10 or 10 over. I think T20 is a better format than 10-10, because then it will become just like, this is just too short. I mean, on a day, a good team can lose, and then the cricketer who don't have talent, he might show up like a big star. So 10-10, I think, is too much to ask, but 2020 is the way to go forward.
All right. Well, we want to thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to you joining us every now and then to give us an update on how you envision things on the island, because seeing it from someone else or hearing it from someone else who has a different look, when I say a different look, who looks at things a little different than we do, it's kind of an eye-opener. So I want to thank you, Coach, for joining us this evening, and we'll invite you again.
Look, Al, it was pleasure. It was pleasure talking to you. And I tell you what, we need people like you to do these kind of things. So everybody stays encouraged. Everybody. Sure. So rather than getting me here, next time get the players in as well.
We will do so. How's that? All right. Well, we're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk Player of the Week. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
My name is Ethan Phillip for Gosens Bermuda, and
welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy. But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born. I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Welcome back. Well, a quick update from up at Somerset. Willocuts have won by 34 runs. Somerset were all out for 307. In the Willocuts inning, you had Deontay Darrow scoring 74, Chakotay Baisden scoring 66, and Joseph Baisden 48. In the bowling department for Somerset, you had Azar Morrissey 2 for 26 from 2. And Greg Mabry 2 for 55 from 8 with 1 mid. In the Somerset inning, Chris Douglas scored 103 from 73 balls, 9 fours, 7 sixes. Matt Watson, who opened with Chris, they put on a 165-run partnership in 23.4 overs. Matt Watson scored 71 from 95. He had 7 fours. Dominic Sabir was out for 49. Not right. I'm laughing because Herbie Bascom finished with figures of 4.3 overs, 4 for 44 for Willocuts.
I think Herbie. I think it's helping coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's come back and helped him to beat Somerset. So he was the one who claimed 4 wickets. So helping Willocuts win 4 for 44. Joseph Baisden 2 for 33. So there you have it, Willocuts. It'd be interesting because now Willocuts clears the gap on St. George's. So what happens? Does Herbie help Willocuts overtake St. George? Kind of interesting, but it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah. We're hoping to get we were hoping to get Vashon Blanchette from Somerset to talk about preparations for Cup match. Hopefully, we can try and get him again next week to see what's happening. But Doc, let's last week we picked the player of the week was Zico Burgess from St. George's Cricket Club. This was the presentation from Goslings.
My name is Ethan Phillip for Goslings Bermuda, and this week's Goslings Player of the Week is Zico Burgess from St. George's Cricket Club, and we will be presenting him with Floor Gold Bermuda Rum. And we'll be presenting him with this bottle as a gift. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah. So this week we've had some outstanding performances. We just mentioned that Chris Douglas scoring 103, Matt Watson 71, 1. We also had Deontay Darrell scoring 70 odd. We had Dion Stubble 51 and then 3 wickets. We had Brian Hall scoring 157. You had Seth Campbell taking 4 wickets today, 3 wickets yesterday. Other top performers you had. Sorry?
Got 5 yesterday.
5 yesterday. Also getting 6 wickets yesterday was Charles Trott in the county match. So just running down that list of players, what stands out for you and why?
Well, not being a Stars man, but Stars did come away with two good victories on the weekend. First of all, it was Seth Campbell. He got 5 wickets yesterday, 5 for 20 or 30 or. And then again today, he got 4 against Cleveland. So you can, that's 9 wickets in 2 games. That's a good outing for him. But I think where Stars won that game today against Cleveland, it was Brian Hogg's 157 not out. And 100 of those runs coming from boundaries. So I think that and playing against Cleveland, again, this is the second time they scored over 300 runs. And to be on today after Stars was in some trouble, 2 for 2. And before Brian came in, there was, at the time they didn't look like it was get 200. They ended up getting 365. So I'm looking at Brian's innings for 157 not out as a player of the week.
I mean that basically set the tone for Western Stars today. Clearly, yesterday they got 250 odd yesterday, and only 3 batsmen scored double figures. Seth was right up there with the wickets and so forth. But I mean, Brian Hall's 157 will basically make him the player of the week for this week at the Seabreeze Oval. Again, a big knock. He faced, I just want to get it right, he faced 73 balls. He had 5 fours and 18 sixes. So, I mean, when you start putting up figures like that, we've had some big centrists.
Yeah. And like I said, there's been a lot of other, interesting players that done really good this weekend too. Like Dion, he's scored 50 and has been getting wickets consistently. The boy Charles Trott got 6 wickets yesterday and 3 today. So he ended up 9 wickets. It has been some other good players that have done really good this weekend too. But it's just that Brian's innings to secure that victory for Stars. There's a playoff game, so that means a lot to them. And like I said, 157. I mean, like, come on, man, everybody, not out. And 100 of your runs come from boundaries, so that's the reason why I'm leaning towards Brian.
And you know what? And credit to Cleveland because they went on to score 208 themselves. Same thing up at Somerset. I mean, credit to Somerset. I mean, when you're staring at 341, you turn around and score 307. That's 648 runs. Yeah,
and then Chris got 100 too.
Yeah,
Chris Douglas got 100 too. So but even though Chris 100 was in a losing course, but you still got to give the fact that he still got 100.
100, and started off his 103. When he got out, it was 165.
Yeah.
So
that laid the foundation. That laid the foundation for Somerset.
In 23 overs.
If you look at it, Wilcott's, they had some good now. Deontay 70 and everybody chipped in for them, to get that big massive score. So and it seems like Wilcott is a team that's consistently scoring runs, man. Especially when they're playing up Somerset. So they're having a really good season.
Right. Well, we get another week closer to Cup Match next week when we resume the Island Stats Cricket Show. So let's see if there will be more trial matches, and obviously We want to see the players who are that's pink, ain't it? That's pink, right?
You know, that's red and blue.
Oh, okay. It looked like the color of the club. I don't know. I'm just I'm just saying, you know.
Each time I'll be wearing something like red or blue, you know, it's coming towards that time of year, Earl.
Not a problem. I know you're a big St. George supporter, but because you play for Somerset, you gotta be in that.
No.
All right, partner. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your week, okay?
You too, Earl.
All righty.
Cheers.
Thanks, folks.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week Sunday with another edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. We'll be back. Good night.